When we carry out strategic management process, we have got several techniques available to us through which we can do a business analysis, we can take certain choices in business, and we can implement our strategies accordingly. So let's discuss them one by one. 1. Setting up vision and objectives. 2. Taking strategic analysis. 3. Taking strategic choices. 4. Implementation. 5th, evaluation and controlling. With my experience over the years, what I've observed is that most of take these highlighted areas as difficult areas. So what I've decided is to talk about the CN3, the areas of business plan, change management, contingency plan. Contingency plan, since this is a COVID-19 time, and I'm sure that most of the big giants around the world, they must have their contingency plan with them. So this can be a very important area in the times to come. Since this is the high time to have contingency plan with the organizations. So I must say that this area is very important area, since I'm a business analyst professionally. So these are the areas in which I have got my own specialization. I have done SWOT and pest analysis for one of the organizations. So I'll be discussing this area particularly with you. So let's discuss the CN3 first.
Decision trees are used frequently for investment analysis and decision-making in business. A decision tree provides a comprehensive framework to review the alternative scenarios and consequences a decision may lead to. For example, a decision tree can explore the various issues associated with hiring new staff. By expanding, the tree can also show management the implications of hiring an employee who performs poorly and must be dismissed. Decision trees are also useful for exploring the impact of a decision. For example, a company considering whether to air a TV advertisement could set up the tree to explore what happens if it airs the ad, what happens if the economy is strong or weak, and so on. One of the most basic applications of a decision tree is in pricing options. In its simplest form, the model assumes the value of the option's underlying stock will increase or decrease by set amounts, and the value can be easily determined in a simple tree. Another application for decision trees is valuing real options, which are major operational decisions a company has to make, like whether to contract customer service or expand to new markets. An effective decision tree helps management consider all the factors involved in the decision and choose the most profitable option.
Let's begin with the CN3 analysis. The CN3 analysis is basically a scientific model which is used by different organizations during their decision-making process. This graphical representation is basically structured in the form of tree, in which the problems associated with each decision is associated in a form of a flow chart, with each outcome with the level of probability attached to it. So if we go through this analysis, a structure of this analysis technique, we have got nodes. One node B would be of decision. This node represents a node of chance. On the other hand, we would be having the expected values with us in the form of a currency, means the dollars. On the other hand, we have got the probabilities. Along with that, it has a probability of 80% probability of success, maybe a 20% probability of failure, and likewise. On the other hand, we have got business situations, means the alternatives that the business have. For example, if we discuss a case, a scenario, suppose a company, they may build up an office, they may build up a housing scheme, or they might sell a land after 3 years. An office have a high chance of, it's a risky approach. The housing can be a less risky one, and land can be a very risky one, according to the information that is available to a business with the market information. So let's discuss this in a form of the CN3 analysis. So here we go. We got a hypothetical situation in which we got a company who is specialized in construction businesses. For example, if they make a choice of come up with the construction project of building up offices for the commercial use, and then they have a choice to make. Maybe they can come up with the housing project for the flats, and then they may sell the land after 3 years. So as per the market information provided to us by the experts that we have, and maybe we can take this information from the outside. So the source of information that we get out of for the probability and for the expected value would be from the experts. So let's start the situation. So for example, if we start discussing the CN3 analysis, we need to understand the diagram here. You see, here we got a file that is a CN node. This is the chance, these are the chances nodes, and then there are some outcomes. See, the branches have got the outcomes. So I have solved this very particular analysis. I have completed this particular analysis with the help of basically two methods. One is to draw a diagram. On the other hand, what I have done is that I have calculated here in another way as well, which I'm going to explain you one by one. So let's start if they come up, building up the offices here. So you see the market information of expected failure and the success is given over here. So if they decide to come up with the offices, the expected probability of success is 80%, which will give them $30 million. In comparison, if the expected probability of failure is 20% here, which will give them a expected return of 10 million. So the method says that what we need to do is that if we can multiply the expected outcome with the probability both of success and a failure. So here I have calculated it, you see. So once I have done the calculation here, what I have done is that I have multiplied the expected return with the probability in both cases of success and failure, which has given us 26 million. Now here it comes 26 millions, and the expected and the cost, the capital cost which is given here, will deduct the capital cost going to be invested here, which will give them a sum of 11 million here. So what could say that there would be this option number 1 would give them 11 million. So now we need to see where we stand when it comes to the other options. So when it comes to the option and when it comes to housing scheme, the probability of success is 70% and the probability of failure is 30% here, which will give us with the same method $13.4 million. Likewise, if we go towards a third option, which is they may decide to come up with the land, we'll apply the same formula. Here the probability is same 50-50%. We'll apply the same method, which will give us $7.5 million. So we got three figures here: 11 million, 13.4 million and 7.5 million. It is quite evident now, it is quite easy to understand that when it comes to quantitative decision making, now we need to differentiate here. I'm talking about quantitative decision making, since the CN3 analysis gives us the quantitative analysis. One of the limitations of the CN3 analysis is that it gives you a quantitative analysis, it does not touch the qualitative analysis. So when it comes to quantitative part of it, so we could easily say that the maximum expected return that we are getting here is from building housing scheme. So we could easily say that the CN tech that we are taking would be so. Let's discuss the qualitative part of it. I have seen that generally examiner is very much interested in knowing the qualitative factor as well. Yes, this is quite silent here. When it comes to numbers, we could easily say that we should go and build the housing scheme. So what if we move forward to build a housing scheme and there's some regulatory issues in the times to come? If we are unable to see the government direction towards housing projects, so it can be a challenging situation. We need to cater the challenges that is there in the environment in which you are operating. So environmental issue could be there, maybe some other stakeholders, the environmentalists from the surrounding, the people, they may protest against this, they may go against to build a housing project in that locality. So the stakeholder analysis would be very much important, would play a very important part in it. So whenever you are doing such analysis, you need to consider the qualitative part of it as well. So I would strongly suggest you that when it comes to quantitative analysis, the CN3 is one of the key tool that we have got to do analysis. So this is what I wanted to discuss with you when it comes to the CN3. I hope that was helpful for you. And if there is any query, you may leave your comments on my channel, and I'll definitely going to help you out in the times to come as well. So let's wait for my next lecture related to strategic management. See you next time. Best of luck.